Yes, guys, it's Suki and Matt from Beyond the Stage, BTS TV, fueled by Explosive Vape and GSN. And this is part 2 of week 42. And I call it week 42. I've already realized I'm completely wrong my weeks. It's not week 42, because that means there's 10 weeks left of the year. And it's definitely not 10 weeks left of the year. So I'm not sure what week it is anymore. We're going to carry on the week numbers and then we'll restart when the season ends. And we'll start fresh for week 1 in January. Matt, how are you doing, buddy? You all good?
Very good, mate. Freezing. There's a lot of snow around, isn't there? I'm not keen on it.
Yeah, it's not the greatest. So what we're going to do, we're going to go straight into this one now. First guest we have is Alex Lord from PCA Worlds. This is going to be more focusing on the UK shows. We've already gone past the international shows, so feel free to watch the previous video if you want to know more about the Prague, the Benweda, the NPC Masters, and so on. This time we're going to focus on the UK shows.
Be interesting to see which gets more views, won't it? PCA versus the NPC.
We'll see, mate. But hey, we've still got another NPC show to cover anyway with Two Bros Naturals.
That's true.
So they are across both. So first is first, actually. While waiting for Alex to join us, we are going to finish on the top 10 of the Pro Coach of the Year. Now, I know we've gone through the first 5 in the last video. So we are going to go straight into the next 5. And then from next week, I think next week or the week after, we're going to start bringing it down to the final 4 and then the overall winner. So we are going to start on the next 5. First one is Rob from LRF. So, Matt, let me throw to yourself, mate, because I know, obviously, yourself being a coach, you've had a lot of your competitors compete against many of the coaches on this list. Talk to me about Rob.
Yeah, Rob's great. I mean, I'll tell you what, Rob used to be really, really big on the scene, like amateur and pro. Now I kind of feel like he's taking a little bit of a step back, just works with a few people. But the few people he works with, he obviously gets great results. And I believe he coaches his girlfriend, right, Charlotte?
Yep.
And obviously she's been doing absolutely fantastic as well. So, yes, he's had a good season so far. Got very close with a few situations as well in terms of how his athletes were doing. But yeah, PCA and NPC and IFBB Rob does, doesn't he? So a bit of a broad spectrum.
Yeah, for sure. Look, let's take the means off the bones here. I think we do know that Rob probably has the most successful record when it comes to IFBB Pro cards. As we can see here, 25 IFBB Pro cards throughout his entire coaching career. Obviously, his most recent Pro card came over at the NPC Masters through Victoria, securing her Pro card in figure. And of course, you also had a very successful weekend with Helen taking the overall bikini as well as the PCA Pro card. Only a couple of weeks before that, he also had another 2 PCA Pro cards over at the PCA Belgium show, I believe, as I'm scrolling down. But I mean, I think in regards to this season versus previous seasons, I know he's always managed to secure a high number of IFBB Pro cards. So I'm interested to find out where this season ranks versus previous seasons. At the moment, I can only remember the one IFBB Pro card he's secured this year. And to be fair, for any coaches to get on this list, that is the kind of benchmark we are looking for. But I guess for Rob as well, what's also impressive is the results are across all federations. As you can see from his bio as well, that he has been securing Pro cards through PCA, obviously NFMK, which obviously no longer exists. He's had a very successful season through FitX. And it's also a mixture from male and female clients. So all in all,
from a coaching perspective, sorry to interrupt there, Freaky, it's actually quite difficult to do because they all look for very different looks. Like PCA bikini is extremely different from NPC IFBB bikini, especially within masters categories for bikini, for example. They do come in a lot harder, a lot drier, for example. So managing that is, a challenge within itself, especially when a lot of like the PCA pros, for example, if they do want to then cross over into try and get an IFBB Pro card, it's fairly difficult to manage. And then he does it across multiple categories. So that's why I think he's worthy to be in the list.
Exactly. Next one, we got Jace. I don't think I went through him last time, so we'll go through Jace now. Jace, very successful season. Off the weekend just got, he got 3 of the overall winners in Two Bros Naturals. And of course, Elliot, his client, who will also be on the show today, he won his Pro class. So just quickly on Jace, Matt.
Yeah, Jace's class. He's had a great season, like you said. He's got loads of Pro cards throughout the year. Started all the way back in like April, I think he got the first IFBB Pro card for himself this year. And he's consistent. He's a very consistent coach with results. Obviously, Dwayne got his pro cards. What was it, last week as well, or the week before? And again, he works across multiple categories too, which is really cool. Obviously, he coaches Winter as well, who got through to the Olympia last year. I can't remember off the top of my head if he's got any Olympia qualified this year.
Not yet, no.
No, but yeah, I mean, he still had a wicked season.
Yeah, once again, great results across the board. Quite a few standout results, but also his team has also performed very well this season when it comes to results. So once again, yeah, Jace, very good shout to be in the top 10 this season. Next one is Tom Hames.
Tom Hames. So again, he does work across multiple federations, but he mainly focuses well, you can tell from the top 3 pictures that he's pinned, he's mainly focusing on IFBB. That's his sort of like passion, you can tell, and mainly with bodybuilders, because he does have good athletes in other categories as well. For example, Emily Wilkinson, who won her pro card at PCA and then won the PCA Pro Show in Masters. She was phenomenal, really, really good, massive level up. So he does work with a lot of people. But yeah, I think he's definitely trying to break into the IFBB sort of like market more.
Yeah, for sure. And look, I'm trying to look back at some of the standout results. Like once again, he's still getting results across PCA. Of course, once again, secure the PCA Pro Card with Adam Harding. As we know, we worked closely with Jack Richardson leading up to his recent Prague show, and we know that he's got quite a few competitors who are currently IP pros working towards a busy 2025 season. Sarah Bradley being one of them. I believe as well there is obviously Jack Eagles is returning next season, competing at Detroit. We still got Lewis Breed. You know, he's competing. Lewis Breed. He's with Martin, so apologies. Yeah. I saw Lewis on there, but he's got quite a few big hitters coming back next year. So I'm looking forward to see what he does in 2025. I'm literally trying to remember some of the other 2 coaches that literally has gone past me. So
go on to your post.
I was literally scrolling on my phone to get that, and now I'm getting echo on my. Can you hear echo?
So, yeah, a little bit background noise still, mate, but it's not an echo. We can hear you loud.
Okay, I'll look into that a bit more detail afterwards. Look, what we're going to do, I'm going to bring in Alex. We're going to talk to Alex about the PCA Worlds, and while we're doing that, I'm actually going to search back the other 2 coaches that I completely forgot about. I've got the list somewhere, but what we're going to do, guys, let's bring on Alex Lord. Alex, how are you doing, my friend?
Hi guys, yeah, thank you for having me on. It's my first time doing a podcast, so I might go a bit blank at times, but I'll try my best.
I'm sure you'll smash it, mate. Absolutely, congratulations, buddy. I know this was something that you've wanted for a while, and you held off from doing the finals as well to focus on this, and you got the win. So absolutely epic, bud. How are you feeling?
I'm still struggling to process how I looked, and like the fact that I gained pretty much 10 kilos of stage weight in a year. It just blows my mind. It's definitely been my most productive off season. I only really had like 4 or 5 months of actually being in an off season as well, and I still managed to do that. So more than the win is like how I managed to look on the day. That's what I'm most happy with. But yeah, I went for the World because there's going to be another show which still hasn't been announced, which is the Golden Times League show in China, which is open to pros across all federations, including IFBB, if they potentially want to lose their pro card there and go and compete there. So that still hasn't been announced yet, but it's either going to be December, late December, January or February. So I'm just kind of holding off to that one.
That was going to be one of my questions today, was going to be asking all about that, because we've had rumors throughout the year. You know, you're the man that's in the know. You do obviously judge for PCA. Is the rumors about the money true? We heard like crazy money being thrown around.
Yeah, so it's a £1 million prize pot. Last year it was £200,000 prize fund, and Lubos actually came second. It was a bit of a not everyone was sure on the judging with it as well, because basically how they do it is they do a 212 pro category, and then they do an open pro category. Then they combine the two into an overall, the top 10 from each. And then the top 10 in the overall, which is combined with the 2 pro categories, get an amount of prize money. First place last year was like £35,000 was the equivalent. Second place was like 15,000. That's what Lubos got last year. And this year, the prize money is meant to be 5 times what it was last year, which would make first place some like over £100,000. So
That is crazy. And Lubos got second, and obviously you've beaten him at Worlds. So technically, you've got a very good chance here.
Well, yeah, that's my thinking, and that's why I really want to focus on that one. And I didn't want to go and do the British, because the more shows I do, I just tend to look a little bit worse each time. So I wanted to focus on that one, and then.
So why is it a bit up in the air about the dates then?
They're waiting on the Chinese government to sign some sort of paperwork, either to do with the prize money or the venue or something. It's not very clear, but as soon as they know, they're going to tell us.
Well, look, let's step away from China a moment, because I know we did a post a few days before the PCA Worlds, Alex, and it was you. I was asking you the question about where have you got the beating for Lubos, and in that statement, you did say it's a matter of time. And it looks like that amount of time actually come a few days after we did the post. So let me ask you this, mate. Backstage, at what point did you feel that, you know what, this time you could get the beating of Lubos after obviously missing out on the win back in World 2023? A year later, the results are reversed. What point did you feel you had the beating of him?
I mean, I didn't feel that backstage, to be honest with you. I never feel that way. I always look at other athletes and think they look better than me. I can never see myself from someone else's point of view. So I always think, oh my God, that guy looks huge. The Polish guy, Chris, he beat me the past 2 years in a row as well. The guy who came third, I was looking at him like, oh my God, these guys are massive. And I don't realize how I look myself until I look back at photos. So when we did them posts, I'm very much looking at things objectively, but not through my own bodybuilding eyes. So yeah, I never felt like that backstage. Obviously, I can see things objectively, that he's a lot taller. He doesn't have quite the same shape, but he's very conditioned. So it could have gone either way. But I came out on top this time.
Epic. How did it feel when you got moved into the middle? Did you know you were in the middle? Did you get excited, or did you just focus on the job?
Yeah, so I actually happened to be in the middle when we came out, and then they didn't move me position. So at that point, I knew I was still on the X in the middle, and I knew that those two were either side of me. And I pretty much know when that's the case, and they don't move you, that's going to be the result.
So let me ask you this, Alex. Look, you're the world champion now. Lubos is the most successful pro bodybuilder in PCA history, and I say pro bodybuilder because we know Ike is actually the most successful PCA pro in their ranks. So talk to me now about we know China is one that you're looking to hit up, and you've obviously secured your place as one of the best PCA pro bodybuilders. We know PCA pays well, and obviously you got a nice $2,000 check from them. So is the future for yourself very much focusing on the PCA pro ranks and carry on building, establish yourself as one of the best pro PCA bodybuilders, knowing, and it looks like as well, that the PCA pro ranks is growing rapidly across the world? What's your response to that?
Yeah,
mate?
Obviously I'm quite close with them. They're like my family. I work judging with them, and I know their plans and how enthusiastic they are about expanding and putting money back into the federation and just being the best federation there is, and really with a social media focus and being able to grow that way. So PCA are going places, and they're going to be getting better and better. And my plans for the moment are to stay with PCA and to do shows like China. And there's guys that are out there in China who are a bigger challenge than Lubos. So I've got those guys to beat right now. I've achieved. I'm the top PCA pro there is. Like that's that box tick. Technically, I don't have a lot more to do other than retain my title. But until I would reach a point where I could be like a contender, like for a top 3 IFBB pro show, or to go to the Olympia. I don't see the point in me moving across to them and just being one to make up the numbers when I can be this successful this way.
Let me go back to. I want to go back to something you just said there as well, because you mentioned about what's going on in regards to PCA in expanding their pro shows. Can you give us some insight about the plans, maybe going 2025, 2026? But I heard some stuff from some of the other PCA pros, but interested to hear maybe what you know about the PCA pro shows going forward.
I mean, they pretty much announced most of what they have to plan. Obviously, they got this awards ceremony. They're going to be putting out the new calendar dates for next year, and they're going to be announcing all of that shortly. And they've got the the natural shows now as well, where they're trying to take over that natural finals and all this. So you can see what they're doing already, and that's what I know.
You can't disagree with the fact that I think that PCA is probably the fastest growing bodybuilding federation in the world right now. Like how rapidly they're growing. I mean, if you look at how many pro shows there are available now, it's got to be what, five or six across the world, different countries.
Yeah, exactly, and that's just going to get more and more. So it's really exciting to be a part of it and be like such a key figure in the growth of that. And I don't want to change that anytime soon.
What I wonder if you'll notice at some point there'll be a shift where IFBB starts to come to PCA, like because the way that they're growing, I imagine the prize money is going to increase soon. They're already matching the majority of IFBB Pro Show prize money for like men's physique, for example, is $2,000 usually. So £2,000, you actually earn more winning a PCA Pro Show. So it'd be interesting if you do have that shift at some point.
Exactly, and hopefully that prize fund is just going to get better and better through the money that they're potentially able to generate through social media. Be able to put that back into the sport. Better prize money will attract better pros into the PCA Pro League. So hopefully we get some IFBB guys transitioning over and making it a bit more interesting.
Yeah, 100%. And me and Matt have spoke about this in the past as well, because we're both huge fans of PCA, and in my eyes, for what they do in the UK, they're the biggest brand out there on the UK side, in regards to obviously being started from grassroots level, expanded massively across the globe. I think definitely on my point, and one thing I really do hope PCA do more of, and that is actually the profiling of their pros, leading up to the pro shows like the Worlds, and building a hype of, like, for example, Alex Lord going up against Lubos. We know there's other pros, and just similar to the Olympia as well, and other IB pro shows where they do build hype lead up to those kind of showdowns. I'd love to see PCA do more, whether there's something to do with the day before the show or something leading up to it. I'd love to see more, and hopefully put a spotlight on these kind of showdowns and put them into the more of a limelight, so there's a storyline, there's a narrative. Because obviously I know, Alex, I reached out to you, I wanted to build a narrative between you and Lubos. From the outside, it looked like it was going to be between you and him, which it was the case. But no, look, mate, you did a fantastic job, buddy. You looked incredible. You lived up to the expectations, and I'm sure there's a little bit of pressure on yourself as well, knowing the fact that you're putting content out constantly lead up to the Worlds, but you well and truly delivered. And now the target is on your back for where other pros now go into other shows.
It is indeed, but I'm going to keep improving at the rate that I am. I'm in the best position to do so. I do this full time, and I left my job to do the coaching and the bodybuilding, and it's only getting better and better, and I'm only getting stricter with myself over time. So there's no slowing down for me.
So, man, well done, Alex.
Oh, just last question. Is it going to be psychologically quite hard for you to hold the look now, not knowing when that China show is going to be?
I'm not necessarily going to need to hold a look. I don't want to be in a place where I'm suffering all the time. I know I can pull it back in within 3 to 4 weeks from a certain point anyway, so it's not going to be a problem now.
Well, look, Alex, mate, wish you the best of luck. I'm hoping that China date comes out soon, because I'm desperate to know where that date is, because like you said, £1 million prize money, that's going to attract a lot of people. I'm sure there's a lot of pros right now who are trying to hold that position, waiting for that date to arrive. So many congratulations, buddy. You well and truly delivered, and 100% excited to see the China show.
Thank you.
Also look forward to the awards show as well, to see who gets that win.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, thank you for everything you do with all the posts. It makes everything so much more interesting with the narrative and that. So yeah, thank you guys as well, and thanks for having me on.
Top man, take care. Okay, so that was Alex, mate, and next up, let's bring in Elliot. Elliot Robinson, classic world champion, mate. I know he's been on a photo shoot today. I think he was on a photo shoot yesterday. Elliot, mate.
Nice of him to find the time for us, really. He's a busy man. Busy life being a champ.
Oh, I appreciate it. Appreciate it big time.
Matt,
mate, how do you feel? How do you feel, mate? Fucking unbelievable. Because obviously we got the PCA Pro Card the same year, the same show, right? And now you've come back a year later and you've taken the world title. You must feel absolutely amazing.
It's just wild. Like, I genuinely don't even... Life's just been busy since we've come back, but I still haven't even processed it. Genuine, like, I just haven't. Like, it's weird because obviously normally I do a good run of shows, but this year's been the year where I was like, from the Worlds last year, I knew I couldn't do the British finals this year, and I was like, sole focus was just on one show, the Worlds, and I was like, I'm just going all in for it. And yeah, so now it just feels weird because you know the drill. Like if you put your heart and soul into something, and then if you don't get the result, it's like, right, back to work. What do I need to do to be better? But then when you actually tick the box, you're like, oh shit, I actually did it. Like, you know what I mean? It's weird.
What's
but yeah,
next?
so.
Well, we've just been talking to Alex. He's literally just come off, and his next focus is the China show.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
It was something that I was speaking to Ryan about, but obviously I understand that there is, obviously with it being like a government-funded show, they're kind of waiting to hear back from I don't know who about I don't know what. But if it was one of them where, to be honest, I think if I hadn't have just done that and won it, I'd have been all in for it. But because I've accomplished what I've accomplished right now, I'm happy, bro. Like I'm like just don't know, still trying to process it, to be fair. So I'm not really got my mind set on that. I'm just gonna obviously I've got a few photo shoots this week, and I'm just gonna then just chill out. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be nice.
Yeah, epic. So what was it like competing in Amsterdam then?
Sick, absolutely amazing. Like the venue, just flying over, it was 1 hour for us. I know other guys like Mac from Australia, who's one of my really good pals, placed third in the lineup, and he beat me last year at the Worlds. He traveled 25 hours to be there. You know what I mean? And I just think that is seriously like crazy travel. It was literally 1 hour on a plane. But it even just makes it that little bit more special, you know, when you're packing the cases up, and it just anything international is just like, it just adds that hype because once you leave the house, it's like, well, when I return, I'm either going to be the champion or I'm going to not, you know. So it's a crazy feeling.
I know the answer. I know. Let me just jump on this one. I just want to jump on very quickly before I forget this question. I'm always very forgetful on this. Let me ask you this, mate. What was a bigger win? You winning the Pro Classic World title or Helen winning the Pro card?
Mate, it's always the opposites for us, man. Like, I knew that Helen was taking that. I just had it in my head for such a long time. Obviously, I had the whole picture of, God, imagine the feeling if I won mine and you turn pro. But then, obviously, her taking the overall bikini title as well, it just made it even more crazy. But I've had it written down in my phone for weeks on end, like weeks. and when obviously Helen did the UK Open the week before, and we saw the look that she brought to the stage, and we got some great feedback off Ryan straight after. It was split decision between her and the wellness girl for the overall, and Ryan was like, the look's fantastic, just another week of dieting, just keep doing what you're doing, bring the same. And I'm like, this couldn't be any better. Like, this just confirms that we now know that she was 100% right for the bikini class, just needed to bring that look as refined as she possibly could, and the overall presentation was there. So I was so confident that with what she presented at Hull, then with the feedback going into the Worlds, I was like, it's there, you know what I mean? And I believed it, but then it was like, she believed it for me, but I always believe it for her. So it's always a crazy one. She says to me, like, it was evident from the moment that you came out. It was crazy, and I think that about her. So it's always a bit more special for us on the other half, you know. It's a crazy one.
Yeah, no, it's epic to see, mate. Obviously, I relate, like me and Georgia, very much so, you and Helen as well. Like, and we were all competing together, and it's so cool to see you both like absolutely smashing it this year.
Yeah,
and taking all these titles.
Absolutely, and we found out that was history as well, because no couples ever won the world title at the same time. Because you got Ryan and Amy who won Mr. and Miss Universe.
Yeah.
But then obviously, me and Helen have done the world, so it's like, it was pretty sick. So,
what's the plan? Because obviously you start working with Jace 2 weeks before the show.
3 weeks.
3 weeks before the show. So what's the plan now? Because the reason I bring this up is because you mentioned this to me as well. Like, we're looking at this picture right now. I've never seen you more shredded. Like, it is absolutely peeled to the bone. So clearly something's working here in that partnership. Obviously, you were coaching yourself prior to that 3 weeks where Jace jumped in. So what's the plan moving forward in 2025? Are you going to be continuing working with Jace? And I guess the next question is really, mate, what PCA shows are we looking at?
Yeah. So it was very much a case of it was going to be a partnership that's been coming for a long, long time, this, because I've always supported him. I always think he brings his clients in on point. Like we're very much the same. We go back so many years, ever since there was a gym in London called Yorkie's Gym where Jace used to work out of. I used to train there if I was ever in London, and it was a great vibe. And I've always respected him very, very highly. And I just know that he knows his craft inside out. And recently, I think that he's really, really cemented himself as one of the best, really, especially from the UK. But it was always a case of not sort of if, but when. And I said to him, I'm going to give you a shout a little bit further down the line. He was like, keep it chill. Yeah, 100%. Just give me a shout when you need me. And I felt like around that kind of 3 week out mark was like, I said to Helen, I was like, I think I'm going to give him a shout. And we're just going to allow me to take the pressure off myself, because a lot of the time, when I'm prepping myself, I'm very much reluctant to look at myself too much. I just try and focus on doing the work. And I know I will get shredded, but having that extra set of eyes of someone who's very much like me as well, who's black and white, doesn't kiss your ass, doesn't sugarcoat things. It's like, yeah, you're good, but you can be so much better. So it was like, it's always the same sort of scenario. You're always as lean as your fattest body part. So it was like, my front was shredded 3 weeks out. Like, I was like, right, this is cool. But then I knew it's always the back. You know as well as me, Matt, it's always the back. And we were like, when the glutes, hams, and all that sort of stuff comes in like this, the full thing is going to be like dice to the bone, which is obviously kind of what the whole goal was. I knew that obviously there was going to be some bigger guys on stage, and the lineup was, you guys will have seen it. These guys are freaks, man. They were big, thick, dense dudes. But obviously my whole goal was to out-condition everyone, but then utilize the added strengths that I've put on my frame, more top line, more quad sweep, more hams, glutes this year, that I knew I needed from last year. So that sort of last 3 weeks of Jace kind of like riding me in saying, more. Right, pull back, chill out, rest, get off your feet for a couple of days, go again. You know, it was nice because it just allowed me to just zone in on like attack and then pull back, attack it, then pull it. And rather than me, I've done it before where I've just burnt myself into the ground. Did it last year. Obviously, it was because I ran a lot of shows, but this was just bang on. My body was responding, and it was great. So moving forward, definitely me and Jace are going to keep working together. And looking into 2025, I mean, it's one of them. Obviously,
PCA Universe.
I don't know. It's one of them. Like, I feel like the feelers could be there for it, but also, I also have areas in my head where I would like to continue improving my physique. So then I'm a bit like, do I or don't I? You know. And also, we're gonna go away in January. We're gonna have a little bit of chill time for us as well, and then it would mean like kind of getting back onto prep really after that. So then probably not for the universe, but the Pro British titles definitely something that I'm after. But also international wise, I mean, South Korea, Thailand, there's definitely opportunity for things like that. I know that PCA are probably going to bring out some more pro shows for next year as well. So I'm just interested to see what's going to happen when the 2025 calendar comes out, and then just make my decision from there. Because so many people, that's probably the most asked question. What's now? I don't know.
I know we spoke about it. Are we saying then, because we spoke about PCA, they pay off big money. You've won $2,000. Yeah. We saw Ike this year. He's won $8,000 for PCA alone. I mean, he's won more prize money than any other men's physique competitor, including IPP Pro, apart from Ryan Terry. So is the plan by 2025, you mentioned about British, is still the focus on cementing yourself as the best classic competitor with the PCA, or is it an idea
100%.
about
100%. No questions asked, 100%, man. I just think with the rate that the federation's growing and how things are just developing year on year, it's expanding like crazy. So I just think the opportunity and what the athletes get from it is just far superior to anything. And the thing is, you know as well as me, every single I've never been to a PCA show where the atmospheres have been a bit flat. I've never been to a PCA show where the athletes backstage have been a bit like, you start throwing around the term IFBB Pro card and people start getting a bit salty, and it doesn't change anything on stage, man. That's the thing that gets me, because I get it. We're all competitive, and yeah, I wanted to destroy every single one of them other guys on stage at the weekend, and they wanted to destroy me. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean you have to be salty with people backstage, and doesn't mean there's never anything like that. Everyone's just there supporting each other. Like, I was chatting to a few of the guys that I knew I was going to be competing against. We all knew that we were coming on point, and it's like, great. It's stupid. It's cool as, you know what I mean? Like, Matt, if you were competing against Ike, you know what he brings. He knows what you bring. And it's not like, hate him. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I want to see him at his best, because then imagine if I beat him at his best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all part of it. And that's bodybuilding to me. You look at bodybuilding from years and years ago, every single person who walked out for like their individual presentation, like, well, that could be Mr. Olympia. Shit, that guy could be Mr. Olympia. Next guy. Everyone was on. And it's great. You know? So that's what you want at the end of the day.
I completely agree with that 100%. And it's not only that as well, it's the way that you get treated at the big shows, like the pro shows. You usually have like a pump-up area at finals or Universe, for example. Proper gym set up, and they paid for your flights as well, right, to go to Amsterdam and compete. Things like that is pretty damn cool.
Absolutely.
Definitely get where you're coming from there. I did want to strip it back a little bit away from the competition aspect and more about you yourself. A lot of people are quite inspired and really love your posing.
Yes, cool.
So where did you learn your posing from? Is it all self-taught? Because I know you're really into bodybuilding back in the day. Did you just watch that and learn and try things, or did you have a posing coach?
No, I've never really had a posing coach as such, but it's very much, to be honest, I feel like I learned a lot from YouTube, mate. Like, it really was. Looking back at all of the old school like videos and sort of clips and that from all of the golden era guys, mate. Like, that was truly where I sort of started getting into it. And obviously the thing is, from going from like men's physique and that, you know as well as me, when you're in off season as well, men's physique poses don't look as good because you need them kind of ratios to be popping. So I would always just experiment with all of the bodybuilding poses as well, and I just kind of fell in love with it. And I always wanted to go into it, but then never really had the ultimate mass to feel like I could. And I was always like, I'm good at the posing side of things and kind of developing and all the rest of it, but never really felt like I could truly carry it off until I got to a certain size, and I was like, let's just have a go. And obviously it kind of just progressed from there. But yeah, I just think the art of the presentation, mate, is just so important, man. Like, I don't understand why so many people still sleep on it. Like, I just don't get it. It can only ever benefit you. Just treat it like another part of your prep, like you would do with your cardio, like you would do your nutrition. Don't leave anything to chance, because there was some guys, even at the show at the weekend, and it's in every single bodybuilding show, that you think just stood there, you look incredible, but when you pose, you actually don't look as good. Like, it should be the other way around. Like, I don't look a great deal when I'm just stood there, but then put me in a pose, and then all of a sudden things start exploding. That's how. That's Frank Zane. That's like all of the great guys where you would look at and you think, yeah, good shape, but then the physique just lights up as soon as you actually put it into a proper pose. So that was where I really got into it, man. It's just insane.
I think it did help you. I know your condition was really good, but I think your posing aspect massively helped you get that title as well. Because you're right, it's not just about hitting the pose. It's also about how you present yourself on stage and your whole stage presence and how that can draw attention to you. And I feel like you do that very well. Probably from years of experience, like you said, you come from men's physique and then got up to classic. So you've got a lot of experience, but it can massively help for sure.
I think the thing that a lot of people forget about is it's what you look like on stage that counts, not what you look like in an Instagram post or things like that, And if you're trying to position yourself on stage to look better than the other guys and present the best version of your physique, so a lot of guys kind of get that wrong because they might hit a shot for Instagram or something like that. But then when you're posing on stage, it's got to be slightly tweaked a little bit more. You've got to remember the judges are down. You've got to remember all various different bits and bobs. And if you actually think about that when you're doing it, it completely and utterly transforms the way that your actual physique looks on stage, because that's where it matters. It's like, oh, so-and-so posted a photo from last night looking absolutely crazy, but then on stage it didn't follow through, you know. So I think that's a big part of it, like learning how to present yourself and being aware of the people who are around you, what their strengths and weaknesses are. If you've got a guy who's very, very thick and very, very dense, last thing you want to do is spend your time too far away from him, because then you're going to look even smaller. Get that little bit tighter to him and like try and sort of play yourself off against him, you know, and just things like that. Just being aware of the surroundings on stage.
Yeah, well, we'll see if you take over a couple of those nomination wins on the PCA Worlds. I know you
That'd be nice.
routine, so that'll be a nice little icing on the cake to end 2024 if you can take that.
Really
as well. I know Helen's in for one of the awards, isn't she?
Yes,
bikini, yeah. I saw that as well. Elliot, we're gonna leave it as that, mate. So yeah, appreciate you jumping on, mate.
Perfect.
And
one,
no doubt,
one more question, sorry. One more question. Is the moustache staying?
Huh?
Is the moustache staying?
Everyone's been going crazy over it, to be fair. Everyone's like, you actually suit it? And I'm like, oh, I don't even know. I literally was like, went to the barbs and I was like, can I just keep it for a little bit longer? 2 weeks or whatever. And I was like, I'll see how it looks on show day. But when I get the trim before the show, I'll either tell them to get it off or I'll keep it on. And I was like, I'm going to keep it for a bit. So it's November, isn't it? You know what I mean? May as well keep it going for a little bit. We'll see how classic it can truly get over this month, and then it's kind of get a bit itchy though. So I'm a bit like, I don't know.
All right, Elliot, you take care of yourself, mate.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me on as well, and appreciate the support on the run up to the World as well. I really do appreciate it massively.
Nice, sweet. Take care, mate.
Legend, guys. Have a good night.
All right, look, we're gonna. I feel sorry. I've had Jack waiting in the background for quite a while, but we do need to go through some of the other winners from PCA Worlds. So I'm going to do this very quickly, Matt, and then you give me your thoughts. Yeah. Okay. First one, Ike, a go.
So Ike, we kind of knew. Obviously, he was the favourite, 100%. I was quite surprised Samir didn't turn up. I thought Samir was meant to be doing it because I would have quite liked to have seen that rematch, especially as Samir thought he won the British finals. But Ike looked fantastic. I think this look was definitely better than he brought to, was it Germany?
Definitely better. Definitely.
Way better. And I'm glad that he won it because he's the nicest guy and his look is incredible. So, yeah, I'm glad he got it.
Yeah, I couldn't see anybody beating him, really. Let's be honest. He nailed it. He wasn't going to lose, really. Now he's done the quadruple. Sammy. So Sammy's coached by Matt Walensky as part of Team NFA. She won the PCA World. She actually retained her world title from 2023. Did you get a chance to see her?
So I've seen her compete a couple of times, mate, and she's got insane density to her physique, like a really good amount of muscle. So yeah, I'm not surprised she retained it. Did she do the finals, the British finals?
She didn't do the British finals, no.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing her now. But yeah, awesome, mate. Yeah,
phenomenal. Two-time PCA world champion and definitely the one to beat when it comes to PCA wellness. One person that did come back was Zoe McFadden. She won the PCA British Pro title. Didn't win in Germany, but came back for Worlds, and she took the Pro Bikini win in a very, very tough lineup.
Nice. I haven't seen her compete before, but this is what I'm saying. Like the difference between that look in NPC is a very, very different look. And this suits PCA to a T, which is obviously why she won. So yeah, awesome. Good amount of muscle there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, look, I saw her in the top three, all top three from the UK. Deanne, who came third, sorry. I know she came second in the British, I believe. And then, of course, the girl who came second, I forgot her name completely, but I know she placed in the PCA Germany show, got pro status at the PCA British. So great job to Zoe. I'm just going to jump very quickly as well to the last UK competitor, whether the name's gone off my head. I'm trying to remember all.
Adrienne won the Masters.
Adrienne, that was it. Yes, the Masters Bikini. Let me grab her. Here we go. Absolutely shredded.
Shredded, man. Absolutely shredded. So she did really well at the finals as well. She only came second to Emily Wilkinson, who had a bit more muscle there. But Adrienne just has wicked condition. And I'm glad that she got it because she really, really wanted to get this title. And she works hard, man. Really, really hard. So glad she got it.
Yeah, look phenomenal. Look absolutely brilliant. You can see the top three here. Naomi come in second, I believe. But yeah, fantastic work, Adrienne, in getting that win. Look, next person, in fact, talking about condition, this person doesn't struggle for condition. He's actually probably one of the most shredded natural athletes I've seen on the UK circuit. Jack, I'm sorry for the delay, mate, but we finally got you on. How you doing, buddy?
It's all good, man. It's all good. I'm very well. Thank you very much for having me.
Bat, did you get to see Jack at the? Did you see the pictures?
I've seen the pictures, mate. Guy is absolutely peeled. So I know the main goal is France, right? Which is only in a week and a half time.
Yes. So 9 days today.
Epic. So talk me through your competitive history, because forgive me, I haven't seen you before, but mate, you look absolutely awesome, and you're going to be very competitive this season. Is this your first year competing, or you've done many years before?
No. This is my
fourth.
Yeah, this is my 4th year competing. Actually, I competed last year. Last year was my first proper year, I would say. I competed as a junior in 2018, I believe, and with the BNBF, I only done the one show that season. And then I competed again in 2019, again as a junior in the BNBF as well. And then fast forward, the last time I competed was last year. So I took a little bit of a hiatus from bodybuilding. I took a little bit of a break. And then pretty much last year decided, you know what, I want to have one more shot at this, see if I still have the love for it. And I decided to start a prep all by myself. And then I ended up, as you can see, in Vegas last November, winning my pro status with the PNBA, which was pretty surreal.
Epic. Mate,
yeah.
So I've seen your updates as you've gone through your prep. You get shredded very quick, and I'm pretty sure you were like 6 weeks out, and I thought, man, this guy looks stage conditioned now. How long was your prep been?
So total, by the time we get to France, it's actually going to be about 28 weeks total prep. It's funny because in all my other seasons, I've actually struggled to get in condition. Condition is one of the things I probably struggle with the most, but due to a few different changes this year, it's just come a lot easier than previous years. But I wouldn't say I get in condition pretty easy.
Yeah.
Matt, let me ask you a question, because Jack, you do classic, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So, Matt, you were over at the Benwida Naturals, so you saw the pro lineups, and obviously Jack is going for his IB Pro card in France. So, seeing these pictures, mate, are you seeing somebody that could actually be competitive in the IFBB ranks? Because in my eyes, this guy is the favourite to take that pro card in France.
Yeah, very much so, mate. And he definitely got the condition. And at the Benwidas, they went for the condition guy. You know, Patrick won the pro show, got his Olympia qualification. Your condition, mate, is extremely similar to that, which is pretty cool. Obviously, I've not seen you in person, so I can't tell how big you are next to some of the pros. But I have no doubts, to be quite honest, mate, you're a front runner. I've no doubts you are going to get an IFBB pro card. If it's not a France, you will get one next year. So it'll be very interesting to see you next to some of the top guys. And next to Charles, you'll probably be against my guys, Charles, as well. So, yeah, is there anyone that you're particularly worried about going up front? Do you think there's anyone that's going to give you a run for your money?
Mate, honestly, and this is hand on heart, I am not sure who's doing the show. Just because... I'm not, mate, I'm until I showed up at the two rows the other day, I wasn't sure who was doing that either, and that's not like an egotistical thing. It's just it's irrelevant, right? It doesn't matter if I turn up, if someone better than me turns up, someone worse. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who I'm stood next to. It all depends on those judges, who they think wins. And if I think I'm better than someone, it's so irrelevant. So I don't really judge myself compared to people anymore, because that's the only thing out of my power. So I'll leave the judges to the judging to the actual judges. But in terms of anyone that I'm looking at, honestly, no.
Jack, what was the reason for obviously the transition that you're focusing on getting your IP Pro card? You were very successful with PNBA, you got your Pro card last year. Did you not want to maybe go back and defend your title and see how further you can go with that?
Not really. Just because honestly, this year wasn't planned. I met my coach in May. We said, you know what, we've put on quite a bit of size. Let's just see what we can do once we diet down a bit. And being completely open, I don't plan on competing much more as a natural after this year, if that makes sense. So last year was pretty much my last year as a natural, and then I thought, you know what, we're at the top of the game, I guess, in the natural classic division. So why not try to get my pro card through the natural division, and then see what I want to do after that. So that's what I was kind of at. I didn't really have any plans to compete again with the PNBA. I got my pro status there. I was very happy with that. But I'm not someone who would just keep on like rinse and repeat in the same process. I wouldn't find much enjoyment in that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Have you spent much time looking? I know this is potentially your last year as a natural, right? So have you looked at many of the other IFBB Pro naturals to sort of have a look there, or because I know you said you're not comparing yourself against amateurs that you're against. Have you had a look at the pro circuit? I've seen
a few. And a lot of some of them, I didn't even realize they were natural until I've actually like looked at them. And you know, it's pretty incredible what you can achieve naturally. You know, some of the muscle density that people have. The conditioning is one thing, but I think the muscle density is probably what stands out to me the most. And especially in some of these classic classes, like shape will only carry you so far. You do still need that density, but it's not something I've looked at too much either. Just because, like I said, it's not where my end goal is, if that makes sense. So that's not where I'm looking at, like as in like I'm comparing myself to these people. I want to be at the top. That is the main goal. So that's where I'm kind of looking.
So when you say the top, Olympia?
Yes.
Epic. Love that. Well, we're very much looking forward to seeing that journey happen for sure, mate.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, so week and a half out, so peak week starts next week, right?
Most likely from either Saturday or Sunday. So last show I'd done, we started pretty much started the peak from the Saturday. Just because I was ready, we started to just pull off a little bit of fatigue by then. So it's probably going to be a very similar approach going into the next show now.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy journey. I presume it's the Eurostar, right? To just get on that.
Well, actually, no. I'm actually going to be flying to Luxembourg first, and then getting a train from Luxembourg straight to Metz, because it turns out to be a lot faster, a lot more economical as well.
Oh, fair enough. It's still not too long of a journey, so yeah.
No. It's not like last year. I flew to Vegas, and that was including 2 flights and all these things. It was about a 20-hour journey, and that was pretty rough. But this year, a 2-3 hour journey, I'm okay with.
Matt, are you going to France?
No, not this year, mate. I went last year. Not this year. I'm all done.
Gotcha. Well, look, Jack, mate, I'm going to wish you the best of luck, mate. But look, it sounds like you got your feet on the ground, and you're being humble about it. But like Matt said, and I'll say again, condition is probably some of the best I've ever seen when it comes to a UK natural competitor. No doubt that you're going to bring that again in France. I don't know who else has competed, but to be fair, it's going to be very difficult to stop you, mate. So look,
all I hope is that there's great competition. That's it. Yeah. Because like I said, I want to get to the top, so I want to stand next to the best in each step, right? And if right now I'm at the top, I want to stand next to everyone else that's in that category with me and see how I compare. Like I said, the judging is out of my hands. I'm happy with that. I'm at peace with that. Whatever happens, it doesn't change my goal. But yeah, I'm going for a good time, and we'll see what happens.
You'll have a good time. Last year was a good show. There was a few people in Classic. Men's physique was bland. Bodybuilding not as busy, but yeah, Classic was good, mate. So you'll have a good time.
That's what I'm looking forward to, man. Just having a good time. I love bodybuilding. I love competing. I love the stage presence. I love the whole day is just a good day. And I know a lot of people will get like all the nerves and get in your own head and stuff. But if you could like just sit back for a moment and take it all in, and I know the word present is very much thrown everywhere now. But if you can be a little bit present on the day of the show, it's a really good day. No matter like if the result goes your way or not, it's a really good day. You've worked all this time for that one day. Don't wish it away, wishing to get on stage to go home. Like just take it all in, and that's what I'm going to do.
Good man. You enjoy every day, buddy.
I appreciate it.
Mate, we'll see how it goes next weekend. You take care.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, guys. Thank you.
Good man. Okay, so let's just jump very quickly onto those other winners from Two Bros. Because I had to take my screen off because I was scanning all the way down to get these results. Because as we know, I am still blocked by Two Bros, so I can't go on their page. But it doesn't stop me from getting the content out. And I just want to say I got the content out way quicker than Two Bros. So you guys over there, pull your finger out because you guys are slow as fuck. to get your scores, get your results out.
That's you blocked for another year.
Mate, it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. Yeah, when it comes to, so we got the natural bodybuilding winner. I couldn't find him on Instagram, but this is one of Jason's clients. So this chap here in the gold trunks took the natural bodybuilding overall title at 2 Bros. I saw some of the competition. Didn't really look to be that strong. It did look like the clear winner. So congratulations to him. We've already seen Jack as well, but we'll go to the next guy and you tell me a bit more about him, mates, because this is official RX. Yeah, mate.
Mate, where's Jace finding these guys? Honestly, like what the hell? What the hell? This guy's very, very good. Like the density he has for a men's physique natural athlete is absurd. He will be extremely hard to beat in France. I'll tell you that.
Well, I know he is competing again very soon. I think France is going to be his second show. There is a show lined up before. I believe Jace may have told me that. But yeah, one of Dwayne's mates who obviously got his pro card. So well done to this chap. We've got the figure winner as well, Izzy, who's coached by Louis. I believe there was 2 competitors in the overalls. So well done to Izzy in getting that overall win. And we've got a few more competitors. I just want to quickly jump onto. In fact, I don't think it's a few more. There's only one more, because I do believe it's a bit of a light show. This is Laura. Laura, who won a PCA Pro status back in the PCA British show, I believe. She took the natural overall title in wellness. Another Jace client. So Jace got 3 wins in the overalls. And then we got Elisa Blackhurst. Very busy class, no surprise. Natural bikini is always very busy at 2 Bros. LRF's client, she took the win and the overall, and I believe she is doing the Denmark show this weekend.
Fair play. It'll be interesting to see how she gets on there for sure. You're right, yeah. Men's physique and bikini and natural shows are always rammed, aren't they? Always packed.
Mate, absolutely, mate. Always absolutely rammed. Let's just jump on UKUP very quickly. This is obviously a federation you know a lot about, mate. So I'll probably throw more back to you because, of course, they had a team go over to Venice for the WABBA Universe.
Yeah.
Jade won a pro card and also second.
Yeah, obviously we had her on, didn't we, not long ago. So it's really cool to see her take that. Yeah, she's doing well. I'm looking forward to her transitioning over into the NPC, going for her IFBB Pro cards. Yeah, it looked like a great show. I had one of my players and clients over there competing in men's physique as well. He said it was really...
Sorry?
Yes. So, Stephen, he's called. He did well. And then Matt... Sorry?
Which one's Stephen? Have I got him here?
No.
These two? No, okay.
Is that, him on the left, maybe?
This one here?
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, there he is. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, so he said it was a wicked show. He really, really enjoyed it. And it was just cool for UKUP to obviously have that opportunity for their competitors to go international and compete in Venice. So I know a lot of these guys are really looking forward to it because the UKUP finals is all the way back in September. So it's early September. So it's quite a long time for them to wait. But yeah, they all really enjoyed it. It was cool to see Matt take it as well, take the win there.
Yeah, no, he looked great. And very well done to Matt, Ashton, and Jade. I'll quickly get Ashton's account up as well. Ashton also got WABBA Pro status, so 3 of the competitors for UKUP taking the pro cards. And I've got to say as well, I mean, WABBA Universe in Venice. Oh, have you ever been to Venice?
Yeah, I love it, mate. Love it.
Beautiful. I mean, what a location there for the finals for the Universe. I saw the pictures from Charlie and Jade. Obviously, they were traveling around afterwards. But what a place to go for an international show. So many congratulations to all the competitors, whether they place on their pro card. I love seeing these pictures. So well done UKP as well. I always like to shout out federations if they are doing something right. I like to see these pictures holding the flag and all that. So they did well. Again, the content out through their Instagram story and also on the feed. So well played to the UKUP team.
Yeah, it's cool that they did that. Like I said, they also brought out their natural show for the first time this year, and that was a very, very popular show as well. So yeah, it's good to see them leveling up their federation for sure.
That's it, mate. I remember the last 2 coaches. I forgot to mention in the makeover final top 10, the pro coach of the year. First one, Josh McHale. So let me throw it to you, mate.
So I'll be honest, I don't actually personally know Josh McHale. I know a few of his athletes who are very, very good. I only know of the ones that competed earlier in the year. So I'm not actually too familiar with how he's been doing sort of in the later half.
So with Josh, he's been very successful in PCA this season. Obviously, Jay's got a pro card. Josh also got a pro card. Nadia got a pro card and also placed high in the world in top 3. Obviously, Maya's had a super year making her debut in the wellness ranks within the America shows. So she made a huge statement from those ones. So, but once again, the results were consistent across the board through FitX, NABBA, Two Bros. Once again, she worked a lot with Lowry, who took an overall win at the Callum show with Two Bros. So plenty of strong results, consistent throughout the entire year. Another pro card here with James. So very successful year. I probably would say, obviously, not up there with some of the other ones, like obviously Zach and Jace, where it comes down to numbers of IFBB pro cards. But it's the same thing I mentioned about all coaches. It's that consistency week in, week out, where it comes to the results we look for. And the last coach, and I can't believe I forgot about him, is Callum. Callum, where I call the award the pro coach of the year, and of course he is the pro coach. 25 pro cards in total, the same as Rob for LRF. 4 IP Pro wins, obviously best known for this year for what happened with Darwin in cracking that big place over at Olympia, and of course winning the Tri Pro. Mate, talk to me.
Yeah, so obviously Callum's got quite a few pros on his books, which is really, really cool. The fact that, he makes pros and the pros stay with him, which, doesn't always happen. Sometimes they get their pro card, they do then go to a different coach. Callum does seem to hold his pros, which is really cool to see. They obviously enjoyed the service. Obviously, Tyler Smith's had a wicked year, brought his best ever look. Niall Darwin getting through to the Olympia and placing well at the Olympia. He's also made quite a few pros this year. Sheridan, for example, Sheridan had a pretty tough year. I know he then went back to Callum, and I'm pretty sure it was within 2 weeks of going back to Callum, he got his IFBB pro card and brought his best look. Yeah, so he is, one of the most spoken about coaches for a reason, and he consistently delivers.
Yep, I would say of all the coaches, he had the most competitors competing on the IFBB pro circuit this year. Not just the male competitors, but also female. So there's a lot of consistent results. I mean, look, one person, for example, Michael Kent, who I don't know how many pro shows he has done this season. It must be upwards of 7 or 8 because
he's been competing since April. He just doesn't stop, that guy. But yeah, since going pro, he's been consistently getting top call-outs as well.
Exactly. So all this will play a part in actually us deciding now who makes that top 4. And once again, this isn't anything to do with public voting. This is going to be very much based on the record. The only thing I would say about Cal as well, but then again, I understand he's very much focusing on the IFB. As you can see that with his competitors and obviously performing on the IFB pro ranks. We don't really see him in any other federations. I did see a couple in some of the natural federations. There is a fellow, I believe, who's competing in the WABF Worlds this weekend. But in the end, if you're good with a certain federation, we see it with Dan Welburn, then it's no surprise that you're focusing your clientele on that federation if you know that criteria inside out and you'll deliver the results. So in the end, it's all going to play a part where we pick that overall winner for the Pro Coach of the Year. Matt, I think we're nearly at the 1 hour mark.
We've done well. We've done well to keep it under an hour today.
That's it. And this weekend ain't going to be as busy as the weekend just gone. I know we've got the WNBF Worlds and, of course, the Denmark Pro qualifier. We've also got Pro Bikini, which I know Cassie's competing in that. She's just come back from the Prague show at Romania. So they're the two main shows. Madrid, Spain, Dwayne Emil Omar.
Yeah, and that one. Yeah, that's a big one, man, especially men's physique. That's going to be huge.
That's it. I completely, it happens every time. I say these 2 shows, and then literally a few more shows pop up. And also, I'm starting to see more of the shows. 2025 calendars start coming out. Fitex just dropped 3 shows. Nabbits just dropped their shows. Obviously, Alex just mentioned that the PCA should be dropping their shows anytime soon. I wouldn't be surprised if it's next week after the awards evening. We might actually have to do a segment about the PCA Awards when we see the winners from that. We'll probably have to grab some of the winners from it.
Are you going?
No, I don't. I think I owe my partner a weekend where she has a Sunday where I'm present and not talking about bodybuilding. So I think I owe her this one. So
Yeah.
We're going to Rome on Saturday, so it's to be nice. So fortunately, I will not be reporting too much on the other shows. I will wait till she goes to the bathroom, and then I'll quickly look for the results. I'll try and get some pictures out very quickly, but I may not be as quick as I was last weekend. But that's because I do feel she did give up a little bit of time as well, and that also goes with Sunday. But we will obviously be jumping on the results the following week. And then, and it's France the weekend after. I mean, I think that's really the bodybuilding season done.
There's still a few shows in December, like you got the Netherlands, the William Bonac show, and a couple of others. But yeah, for the UK season, pretty much done.
That's it. And I've got a special announcement coming very soon about a special event that I'm hosting in on the 11th and 12th of January. Which I'm going to tell you, Matt, when I come off this in a moment. But that bit of detail will be coming out at the start of December.
Exciting.
All right, we're going to leave it as that, guys. Appreciate tuning in. Please just do subscribe, and we'll see you back at next week's recap.
See you in the next one.